نستمتع بالجلسة القادمة. الجلسة القادمة هي الجلسة الختامية في هذا اليوم المثري في ثاني أيام Ignite the Scene. نبي نعرف أكثر عن مهرجانات الأفلام. تعرفون مهرجانات الأفلام أكيد صح؟ أكثر شيء يشدك في مهرجان الأفلام كمشاهد الريد كاربت، صح ولا لا؟ الريد كاربت هذه لعبتي. فبنعرف كواليس المهرجانات، إيش اللي يصير خلف الستار، وش قصة الريد كاربت، والكثير من التفاصيل في مجال مهرجانات الأفلام. رحبوا معاي على المسرح اندرو محسن ومريم عرب وأحمد شوقي، ويحاورهم ناتان بوغن بتحية كبيرة.
Hi everyone. We're very excited to be here at this amazing event. We are going to discuss on this panel film festivals, and we're going to give you some information about them. And hopefully the goal for us is first and foremost to have some fun, but also demystify maybe what a festival is and how it works and what the purpose of one is, and how one, being a content creator or any other side of the business, can utilize film festivals. So for that, we have our panelists here from different sides of the business. So we have Ahmed, who is the vice president, and I need to read this, of FIPRECI, which, what does FIPRECI stand for?
It is the International Federation of Film Critics. It's a global organization that was established in 1925.
Amazing.
So it's almost 1 century old, and it collects the work of the film critics around the world.
Amazing. Amazing. So coming from the film critics side, exactly. And you also work with the film festival?
Yes, I'm also a festival programmer. I'm currently programming more than a festival, but mainly Malmö Arab Film Festival, which is the biggest festival dedicated to Arab cinema in Europe.
Incredible.
In Sweden.
Miriam is the co-director of the Souk at the Red Sea Film Festival, which I was lucky enough to attend in December, and is an amazing emerging festival here in Saudi. And Andrew runs the Cairo Film Festival, which has been around for many years, and an institution in the region. Yeah. So let's dive in, maybe with you, Andrew, who is at a film festival. What does the Cairo Film Festival do? How does it work? What is its role? Let's dive in.
Okay, you have time?
All the time.
So, Cairo International Film Festival is one of the oldest, maybe the second oldest film festival in Africa, and it's now been this year we will have the 45th edition of the festival. It's one of the 15 accredited A-class film festival by the FIAF, which is a federation for the producers. And in this federation, there is also the huge festivals like Cannes, Berlin, and Venice. The importance of Cairo is that it's the oldest film festival in the regions. That's why all of the industry people and filmmakers have somehow passed in Cairo, either by their films, their projects, or as a jury members, or even as a consultant for other projects. So in this period of time, I think Cairo is inspiring most of the other festivals because it's the connection. Yes. And in the past few years, we were working to have more the connection between the European side and also the American side from the industry into supporting the uprising Arab filmmakers through the industry part of the festival, and also for the sake of audience, we always seek to have many types of films. We have usually 100 films, including features and shorts, in different competitions. So that's why it's a very special film festival and a huge one.
How should, so obviously an emerging market here, an emerging ecosystem, how do content creators here in Saudi and other sides of the business, how should they look at the Cairo Film Festival? They might know by name of other film festivals like the Cannes Film Festival and others. What should they take away from the Cairo Film Festival?
I think, from my point of view, how to be connected more to the audience as you are connected to the filmmakers. Because maybe you can have a very strong films, maybe you can have a very strong market, but if you don't have a connection with the audience, you are lacking for a very important part of the film festival. So it's this balance which we always trying to have, and which I believe it should be in all of the festivals in the region, to gather more people to watch these films, because as I know many filmmakers, the most important thing for them when they screen the film is not the red carpet, but the Q&A after the finish, and how the people are going to react to their films.
Yes.
So this is by establishing a relationship between the audience and the film festival, which I believe here is here in Saudi, and especially in the Red Sea Film Festival. I think it's coming in a good way, because there is a lot of people who are willing to watch films, willing to go to the cinema and to discover this world. So I think it's a matter of time to have this good connection, and to know how from Cairo, the way they select the films, the way they deal with their audience, to be part of this also happening in the Red Sea Film Festival.
Amazing. Ahmed, you carry a scary title of critic.
Yeah.
Demystify for us what a film critic is, and maybe how you look at film festivals, and how the audience here, again, can take away. What can they take away from what you do?
Well, that's a tough and tricky question. As I was just telling you backstage, I used to be a pharmacist.
Yes.
I was graduated as so, and I worked for a couple of years. And during this period, I realized that my passion about cinema, my love to films, and is a thing that I can chase, because how I define a film critic, I would say it is an audience with plus knowledge, with plus experience. So we have tomorrow a workshop about film criticism that we will go deep about answering this question: how can we write a critic piece about a film? But I would say generally that the film critic is trying to mediate between the film and the audience, to give the audience some clues and some hints in which they can get a deeper relationship with the film. So a film critic is not a judge. You are not issuing any verdict. You are not saying this is a good or a bad film, even if your article has this between the lines. But what I try to do in my work, and what I prefer to think about the profession, is we try to understand the film. We try to understand our personal relationship with the film. Why did I like or dislike this film, and how can I justify my opinion to the audience and give them some sort of a way to deal with the films in the future? How to put the film in a bigger context. Who is this filmmaker? What is his filmography? What's his style? I think those are boxes that we have to check when we are going critically with a film. But at the same time, the federation and the work of film critics is hugely tied to film festivals. Film festivals are the platforms where the films are presented to the world. Historical information. The first festival ever was organized in Italy back in 1932 when Venice Film Festival started as an exhibit of films. It was titled like this before introducing the idea of having a jury, having a competition, and giving awards, which is a game. The film who wins in a film festival doesn't necessarily mean it's the best, but it is the choice of the people. Either they are the jury member or the critics or whatever the award is. And as festivals are platforms to introduce new titles, new talents, new narratives to the audience, I believe that the work of the film critic is the same, and the work of a festival programmer is the same somehow.
Amazing. And that applies very much in this part of the world, and especially here in Saudi as it emerges.
Exactly, and also a thing that we are discussing, he asked me what is the difference or how you differentiate your work as a film critic and your work as a festival programmer. And my answer is, when I am writing as critic about the film, or even when I'm in a jury or so, it is my knowledge, my background, plus my taste.
Yes.
So somehow you prefer this film or those two films, so you fight for them, you defend them on the deliberation. But when you are programming a festival, it's not only about your taste, because you are not doing a playlist to listen to on your headphones. It's an ensemble of films. It's a package of different things that you are offering to an audience. So you should understand the festival you are working in. You should understand the audience, the target of the festival, and you craft the program accordingly. Yeah. You know, I think that's enough, but it's always a tricky task, especially when you are in a country like Saudi, when you are programming a festival like Red Sea, a diverse city that is very eager to watch films, to watch not only new narratives, but even the classical narrative is still needed here in the country.
Absolutely.
So how the colleagues in the Red Sea Film Festival are trying to craft a program every year. I attended the 2 editions, and I think they are doing a great job.
Amazing. Mariam, of course, I'll let you speak about the Red Sea Film Festival, but you've had experience all over the world and at many different festivals, and I'll let you take this and go into it, dive into it, whichever way. But do you want to give us, our audience, a bit of an overview of the business of film festivals? What do they do? What is the mission of them and the way you see them?
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you to Ignite for inviting me. So cinema is an industry, and like any industry, there is what we call there is a calendar for professionals to gather and to be together. And this is what we call the film circuit. There are, as you know, probably a different type of festival. When you gather an industry or a professional from an industry together, of course, they meet and they speak and they start to explore their possibility of collaboration. And if we talk about cinema, it's about financing, what we call co-producing a film, finding a talent or a crew. So there are many reasons during a festival to develop your business. And when a festival reaches a certain size, and in the history of some of the festivals that we call a festival, big festival like Venice, Berlin, of Cannes, you probably know, they have decided to structure the business side of the cinema that we name industry. This platform that they create are like a platform to optimize the business and the way the people will do their business. It's like a tool in a way. And markets are designed in the different way as according to every festival identity. Like if I take the example of what we have done at Red Sea from the beginning, which is the idea of a festival who we will also serve the industry to grow and to develop a strong network, and we support the co-production of film, we support the completion of film. So yes, depending on the festival identity, you have different type of platform. They are named market, but it can be also a co-production market because the festival wants to focus on this side of the business and to support the production. And this is, yes, and this is tool. And you young people, if you attend the festival and if there is a market, don't be afraid to take part of it, to sit, to listen, to go to screenings, because a market is also a screenings, because through a market, it's all the chain who act from the script to the screen. You can sell a movie if you are a sales agent and you meet with buyers. You can find distributors for your movie to be seen on screen overseas. So yes, if you come to, I don't know if there are people who have been in the Red Sea Film Festival. I don't see you, but don't be, yes, go and start to approach your community. The industry has its own rules, his own wording, and talking with people, looking at how a sales agent will present your film, why he is using some brochure, was there is poster, was his screenings, his film in a market for buyers. You will learn a lot.
And especially from the Red Sea Film Festival, right? It's here, it's local, it's new.
Yeah.
What would you say to the content creators here in Saudi about it, and especially about the souk? Does the souk play a certain role in that?
Yeah, the souk has been designed, it's very specific because it's a market itself, as I just said before, for the professional to produce their film, to buy their film, to find distributors, to meet with festival programmers,
right,
and present their project, their next project. So through the souk, we have two main mission and objective. One is to offer during the festival a proper market for all the industry. I mean, key players and players who know already about the industry and part of the industry to make their business. So it's about co-producing, as I said, or distributing their movie or sell it, or even for institutions like the Saudi Film Commission to promote their initiatives and their tax rebate, for example, or distributors like Cinewaves, their activities. And we have a co-production market. We select 12 films in development and production every year. These films are the main criteria for this film to be selected. It has to be from director, Arab and African director, because we focus on supporting this cinema. And we also select what we call rough cut. It's the first editing of the film. We select 6 projects, again, from African and Arab director. And to support the co-production of this film and to support their complexion and their distribution, and this is about what I've just mentioned, the rough cut, we invite approx 200 industry people, which are producers from all over the world, sales agents, distributors, festival programmers, because they play a key role in the emergence of cinema and in also following all the work of directors. And we invite also funds, because funds are part of the co-production system. And we have a program of conference to talk about the trend of the industry, specific topics, some keynote. And to reach the second goal, which is very important, at least to me, it's to nurture the Saudi ecosystem,
right,
and to help the aspiring filmmakers and all this young generation to understand what is about cinema, the mechanism of cinema. And so in the souk, as part of our official program, we have some networking session, and we ask the expert and the industry professional who attend the co-production market and the Work in Progress Showcase, to be part of this networking session. And it's a speed dating where all of you, this young generation, you can sit, ask questions, and meet these professionals who are, again, festival programmers, distributors. And we were very happy this year because we had a huge attendance. For this 3 sessions, we had more than 380 meetings.
It's incredible, yeah.
In 3 days. And we have a specific program, which is the Souk initiative, right after the Souk for 2 days, called Talent Days. And it's about intimate workshop for young filmmakers, and also some talks, specific talks, to help them to, again, understand how works this industry, because as any industry, whatever, cars or, I don't know, chemical, you need to understand the wording, you need to understand how it works, who are the players, how they connect with each other, and what are every steps,
Amazing.
again, from script to script.
So you see, a festival has a lot of different sections and does a
Yeah.
lot of different things, and it's not just a place to go watch movies, but
Yeah.
to really create an ecosystem, an infrastructure.
Yeah, in festival, there is a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I highly recommend
in
everyone
many
to go
modes.
check it out. Andrew, maybe a question for you. It can be perhaps hard for a content creator here who hasn't been to a film festival to look at and think about the selection process and know if he or she should apply, if the film festival is the right place for his or her movie. What would you tell our audience about that? Obviously, there's a barrier to entry, like in any festival, but maybe you want to say a couple words about the process and about how to think about applying to a film festival.
So first of all, send your film to Cairo, not Red Sea, and then we can discuss that later on. No, I'm joking, of course.
To both.
No, I'm joking. By the way, it's good that this is the good question, because I think it's important for the filmmakers to know how to share the films between most of the festival, because sometimes the filmmaker wants to go just for a big festival, just for one festival, and I know from my experience, as most of the filmmakers want to go to Cannes, which is, of course, the biggest and the best film festival in the world. But as everyone wants to go to Cannes, not many people can go to Cannes. So Cannes is not the end of the world. There is hundreds of festivals. Many of them are important. And my first advice for the filmmakers is to know how to select the premieres of your film, where to start your journey.
Yes.
Because when you open the film in one country, then you will lose the world premieres, and then there is an international premiere, then the MENA premiere. So you need to select this thoroughly, and then have a list for the other festival which can accept the national premiere or country premiere. And for some films, they can gain in this way, especially for the short films, because it's more easy to send and to be selected. I sometimes see very good films are screened in very small festivals, which is a pity, because the filmmaker didn't know how to send his films. And sometimes I see also very good films which was just selected in very few film festivals, because they didn't know that they focused on sending for a big festivals. And for example, I sent to Cairo, and then I'm done. And I screened the film in the Red Sea, and then I'm done. I don't know how to go after this, especially for the Arab films, because for the European, they know how to go with this. Yeah. So what my advice is search for the film festivals. There is a lot of platforms to submit your films in, and you need to read thoroughly about the films, and even to ask about the festivals, because is this festival worth to submit the films in? Is this festival, for example, will cover your ticket? This is a plus for sometimes. They will cover to go to the festival, to attend the film screening or not. This is something that you have to choose, and you need to listen from film critics also
Sure.
to see your films, and the programmer to see your film before you send it, to tell you, to support you to which festival this film can go. Is it for a A-class film festival, or maybe it's a film that might be go to many festivals but from B-class? So that's why, to be realistic, not to dream big. It's of course it's good, but you have to be realistic to at least to finish this film and go for the next one with much more dreams. That's why I think now the platforms in festivals like Cairo and also in the Red Sea are very good, not just a screen window, but also, as Miriam was saying, that there's a gathering for many industry people and also programmers from many other festivals who can watch your films and then take your film to another journey.
Absolutely. Another part of film festivals, they are sometimes linked or associated with funds, like the one you work at. Ahmed, do you want to maybe touch upon that and explain that relationship?
Yeah, I think that, and Miriam said, there are different types of festivals and different sizes and different
Yes.
targets. So a festival that's happening in a small European city funded by the city municipality to bring a bunch of films to the audience of the city, it's valid, it's important, but some festivals try to go bigger, try to have an influence on the industry, try to support the films from a certain region or a certain narrative or a certain type of films. I think that's what Red Sea is doing with the Arab and African films. That's what Cairo is doing with Arab projects in development and post-production. And that's what we are doing as well in Malmö, which is a festival that started as a city festival, bringing Arab films to Sweden for the first time, especially after the Arab Spring, and where so many people from the region already immigrated to Sweden. But eventually, the festival found a golden opportunity to bridge the gap between the two wars. Like when this fund was initiated, the Malmö Film Fund, it was initiated in 2014, in the 4th edition of the festival. And we added the condition that films or projects which want to submit to the Malmö Fund should have a Swedish Arab co-producer, okay? Swedish Arab co-production. And at this time, it was like a very vague dream. I think maybe once in the history, an Arab film got a Swedish co-producer, like a minor co-producer. But the philosophy behind the fund and the philosophy that the festival agreed with the funders in Sweden is, if the money is there, people will follow. If there is an opportunity to fund the film through an Arab-Swedish co-production, you will eventually find people who are interested to chase this money and form this link. And that's what actually happened. Now, every year we have like 40 submissions that has at least the initial interest of a Swedish co-producer to be there. And some of them went very big. For example, from Malmö, there is a project by a Tunisian filmmaker. At this time, she took 1 or 2 steps in her career, but it wasn't that big. And they started a project called She and the Dogs by Kauthar Belhania, which ended up in Cannes. It's a Tunisian-Swedish co-production. And starting from Malmö, Kauthar went and took the support of the Swedish Film Institute with a bigger amount of money. And now it became a norm for her films and other Tunisian and Moroccan films to have not only the co-production of a Swedish producer, but the support of the Swedish Film Institute.
Right.
So that's how things go. Who could imagine 6-7 years ago that would be a Senegali-Saudi co-production? Or a film from Mozambique that is partially funded by Doha Film Institute. That's happening. Those sort of partnerships are the only way that we can try to help the industry, and the only way that some of the filmmakers who don't have a stable mainstream industry or a stable local industry that can carry the burden of producing their whole film, they have the support of different entities, different funds, different countries around the world. And if you check the program of any big film festival in the last 10 years, I think at least 50%, if not more, of the films are co-produced by different countries.
Yeah.
The idea of an Egyptian film or a Saudi film or a French film that was the tradition decades ago, it's not valid anymore.
That's very, very interesting. We need to close it up soon, but before we leave, do you have any advice to our audience about how they should look at the world of festivals before?
I think we spoke about the funds, we spoke about the programming and everything, but I have to go to the basic and tell the people, especially the young ones, that festivals are a golden opportunity to watch films that you will never see, or like it's very difficult to watch in your daily life. Of course, all of us has different, we have Netflix, we have Shahad, we have all the platforms, and we can watch films on our small screens, on our cell phones, but to go to the Grand Theater and watch a film from Sweden or Denmark or Argentina or Singapore and discuss it with the filmmaker and have this sort of community debate around art in general and films in particular, I think it's a golden opportunity, and I advise everyone to go and use this opportunity whenever possible. If you are in Jeddah, go watch the films in the Red Sea. If you are in Cairo, go watch the films in Cairo Film Festival. And that's the way you build a cinema lovers community, and that's the way the new voices can be raised and get steps in their career.
I can't agree more. I think it's a great note to end on, and I encourage all of you to attend all 3 festivals and more around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Bye-bye.